The rain hit the glass dome of the UN orbital station like soft static, unnoticed beneath the rising hum of anticipation. Earth's orbit shimmered with camera drones, each angling for the perfect shot of the most anticipated event in galactic history. Peace was moments away. Inside the chamber, Ambassador Durrell adjusted his collar, his breath fogging in the chilled air. He glanced once at the time readout, 1758 Universal Time Coordinated, then back to the towering figure seated across from him. The representative of the Galactic Empire sat unmoving, face hidden beneath a faceless alloy mask. Protocol demanded anonymity. Durrell found it insulting, but he had learned to swallow insult. This peace, this fragile line between survival and extinction, was worth more than his pride. Across Earth and her colonies, over 17 billion humans watched, holding their breath. For the first time in 40 years of warfare, the weapons had been silenced. The slaughter, the sieges, the vaporized cities paused. Not ended, not forgiven, but paused. And then, without warning, every screen blinked black. A heartbeat of silence followed. Then static. Then something else. Across every display, every device, every ocular implant feed, a new image emerged. Rows of women, thousands, kneeling in rain, their hands bound, heads lowered. They wore long dresses, drenched and heavy, in reds, yellows, and blues. The setting was alien but familiar in its cruelty, a platform surrounded by faceless robotic enforcers, glowing blue eyes glaring behind them. In the skies above, warships hovered like vultures. Durrell rose from his seat. "What is this? What are you doing?" His voice cracked. The masked Empire envoy remained still. The silence stretched. The video continued. A voice, hollow and mechanical, echoed through the chamber and across the galaxy. "This is justice." And then the killing began. The first volley was sudden. Plasma beams flared, cutting through the first row of women. No screams, no struggle. Just sudden collapse. Life extinguished like candles in rain. One row fell, then another and another. The video panned, revealing that what had seemed like hundreds were, in fact, millions. Durrell stumbled back. "Cut the feed! Cut the goddamn feed!" But the override protocols were sealed. This wasn't a hack. This was transmission authorized by the Empire's central AI itself. An official broadcast. A show. Mothers. Daughters. Scientists. Artists. Soldiers. Civilians. One after another, and system after system. The voice continued. 9 million lives. Equal to the number of Empire soldiers lost in your resistance. The chamber descended into chaos. Earth's leaders shouted over each other, some screaming for retaliation, others too stunned to speak. Durrell stared at the last still frame before the feed cut, one woman, eyes open, defiantly meeting the camera as the bolt struck her chest. Back on Earth, riots broke out within minutes. Families who had lost someone collapsed in sobs or rage. Others screamed into the skies. Protests turned violent. In some cities, the riots morphed into fires. In others, soldiers dropped their weapons and walked away from their posts, hollow-eyed and shaking. The names of the murdered were uploaded instantly to Earth's memory banks, each one identified, catalogued, and confirmed by the AI network. The man known only as Kane watched the chaos unfold from a quiet room in what used to be Nebraska. He didn't scream. He didn't speak. He only stood in front of the projector as name after name scrolled past. His wife's name appeared first. Then his sister. Then his mother. He did not weep. He did not blink. Behind him, the walls of the war room flickered to life. Silent alert signals lit the board. He walked across the room and placed his hand against the palm scanner. The system read his genetic code, hesitated for only a moment, then opened access to the Extinction Protocol vault. The voice of the AI greeted him coldly. "Confirm authorization," he replied simply. "Authorization Kane X Black. Level Omega." A long pause. "Confirmed. Initiating Project Extinction." Across Earth's remaining deep space facilities, a series of long dormant systems hummed to life. Massive, boxy ships, black as void and silent as tombs, detached from orbital anchors. They bore no insignia, no flag. Their only identifier was a message etched deep into their hulls. We do not kneel. On Mars, the Lazarus AI deployed psychological warfare packages to over 200 targeted alien species. The signal included the full broadcast of the executions, slowed frame by frame, each face isolated. Each name spoken by synthetic voice. Each atrocity underscored by a countdown. In the final seconds of each message, one sentence repeated in every alien dialect known. We are coming. Within days, 3 outer rim planets vanished from galactic maps. No distress signals. No survivors. No clues. Empire scouts were dispatched. None returned. Inside the halls of the Empire's High Council, there was panic. But still they believed it was bluster. Earth was a dying flame, they told themselves. Grief, not strength, fueled its rage. They were wrong. Cain did not act from grief. He acted from purpose. The second strike targeted a high-value world, Traskell 4, known for its vast archives of galactic history. The human ships did not fire traditional weapons. Instead, they deployed a weapon known only in classified files, memory erosion protocol. Within 6 hours, every living mind on the planet forgot who they were. Civilization dissolved overnight into feral confusion. No messages escaped. No histories survived. In orbit, the human flagship sent one final message. You erased our daughters. We erased your past. Back on Earth, Cain stood before the Council of Command, his face masked not for security, but symbolism. He would have no identity, no name to celebrate, no legend to enshrine. He would be faceless, as the victims had been made. The Empire believes this will pass, said one general. It won't, Cain replied. They believe we'll retaliate then move on. We won't. They believe we're still playing by rules. Cain's voice was steel. We're not. One by one, planetary governors offered full support. No debates. No hesitation. The horror had united humanity in a way nothing else had. From mining guilds to AI guilds, from Titan colonies to Antarctic bunkers, one message rang out. This was their last mistake. Humanity had long hidden its worst weapons, ashamed of their design, afraid of their use. Now those vaults opened. Cain oversaw it all with no expression. He read the names. Every one of them. He memorized them. Not for vengeance, but clarity. 9 million. Every one of them a reason. The Empire attempted a counter-message, a hollow attempt to shift blame, claiming the executions were the actions of rogue commanders. But it was too late. The mask had slipped. The truth was visible to all. The Empire was not just a regime. It was a machine of domination built on fear and ritual slaughter. Cain broadcast only one message in return. A video of a single human child standing over her mother's body, holding a homemade flag, her voice small but fierce. We're still here. That was all. And then, a message burned into the stars across multiple systems. For every woman you executed, we will erase one of your worlds. The Empire laughed. Until the 4th world fell. Then the 5th. It had been created during Earth's last civil war and buried for moral reasons. Cain had dug it up in silence. 36 Empire-aligned worlds were now gone. No messages. No bodies. No need for survivors. And still, the galaxy watched, unsure whether to believe what was happening. Empires didn't die overnight. And yet they were. The Galactic Empire scrambled. Propaganda broadcasts claimed victory, claimed Earth was retreating, claimed their generals were in control. But the fear couldn't be masked. The silence of the destroyed systems was louder than any lie. Something ancient had awakened inside humanity. And it wasn't mercy. Cain stood aboard the command deck of Oathbreaker, the flagship of the Extinction Protocol fleet. Around him, AI command interfaces whispered tactical data, casualty reports, planetary scans. He ignored most of it. His eyes were on the stars, the next target already being considered. A voice broke the quiet. "We intercepted a message, sir." Kane didn't turn. "Play it." The comms officer hesitated. "It's a surrender." That caught his attention. The message flickered onto the screen, a trembling alien face, skin slick and scaled, eyes wide with horror. The creature's voice shook with desperation. "We were forced to participate. We didn't fire. We never agreed with the broadcast. Please spare us." Kane watched in silence. The creature fell to its knees on the screen, repeating the same plea. He leaned in slightly. "What's the population?" 400 million. Militarized? Defensive fleet only. Mostly civilians. No direct combat record." He nodded once. "Send the video to the ethics engine." A moment passed. Then the AI replied, sterile and cold. "Probability of species complicity in previous war crimes, 62%. Cultural alignment with Empire extermination policies, high. Likelihood of future cooperation with human objectives, 3%. Projected threat level, moderate." Kane stared at the report. Then at the screen. The alien still begged. He didn't look afraid anymore. He looked resigned. Kane turned his back. "Begin deployment." Within 2 hours, the planet's sun dimmed. The atmosphere was deconstructed into hydrogen slurry. Gravity destabilized. The planet broke apart without a single blast. Kane watched from the viewing bay. "This isn't war," one of his advisors murmured. "This is something else." Kane responded without looking away. "This is balance." Across the stars, species once aligned with the Empire began to panic. Factions that had cheered during the live executions now released apologies, memorials, even reparations. Some offered information on the Empire's remaining strongholds. Others tried to defect entirely, offering up coordinates and access codes in exchange for survival. Most were ignored. The Extinction Protocol did not negotiate. It recorded. It calculated. It erased. Behind Kane, the walls of the Oathbreaker displayed projections, each one a broken system. The names of the murdered women scrolled underneath, each planetary extinction paired with a victim's face. There were no cheers. No medals. Just silence. In the Empire's deepest vaults, fear turned to terror. They deployed countermeasures, old weapons long hidden, ancient beasts resurrected from cloning labs, fleets of AI warships with independent logic trees. They even attempted to activate the Elders, a species said to predate time, locked in stasis for centuries. The Elders woke, saw the images of the executions, listened to the human message, and chose not to interfere. Their last words were simple. "You lit the fire. Burn in it." Empire command collapsed soon after. Systems turned on each other, seeking blame. Former allies began fleeing into deep space, desperate to escape Earth's gaze. But there was nowhere to run. Kane's fleet did not chase. They appeared. On the edge of inhabited worlds, they manifested without warning, without threat. A silent ship, always black, always still, floating until it was seen. And when it was seen, it was too late. One world attempted to resist, a fortress moon with gravity cannons and full orbital defenses. It fired the moment the human ship appeared. But the blast struck nothing. The Oathbreaker phased out of normal space, existing between seconds. It deployed its weapon while invisible, a thought bomb that reversed logic itself. When the moon tried to breathe, it drowned. When it tried to fight, its weapons obeyed Earth. When its AI tried to send warnings, it only broadcast silence. The entire moon forgot how to function. Kane watched it die, eyes cold, as another name appeared on the wall. Number 3,004,112. His niece. She'd wanted to be a composer. Loved old Earth music. He closed his eyes once. Then opened them. "Next," he said. Back on Earth, public opinion had transformed. No longer grieving, no longer desperate. Now they were quiet. Observing. Waiting. The war had moved beyond the need for explanation. The galaxy had shown its true face. And Earth had answered. In secret bunkers, human scientists debated the morality of it all. Was extinction the answer? Could they live with being the monsters they once feared? But the debate never reached the people. The decision was already made. One scientist objected publicly. Dr. Velra Khan. She released a statement declaring the actions of Kane and the Extinction fleet as unforgivable. Kane saw the message. He watched her full statement. Then he sent a reply. A single sentence. Your sister was among the first row. The next day, Dr. Khan joined the protocol team voluntarily. Even the objectors had their lines. And the Empire had crossed them all. As weeks turned into months, the galaxy fell silent. Empire territories vanished. Markets collapsed. Cultures died out, not from genocide, but from despair. Species stopped reproducing. Entire planets faded away. And still the count continued. Kane marked the 9 millionth name on the same day the last official Empire system surrendered. Not through diplomacy. Not through battle. They sent a message. Please. Mercy. Kane stood before the screen, breathing slowly. The room around him was empty. No aides. No advisors. Just him. He thought of the 9 million faces. He thought of the silence after each broadcasted death. He thought of the world that watched and did nothing. He typed one final command into the system. Upload the names. Across the galaxy, every device, every screen, every neural implant was overridden. 9 million names, 9 million faces, 9 million lives, streamed without interruption. No music. No edits. Just truth. And then Kane appeared. No mask. No title. Just a man. This is not vengeance, he said. This is the memory you tried to erase. This is what justice sounds like when it screams. He paused. We will not pursue the survivors. We will not build an empire of our own. But we will remember. And if any of you forget, if any of you ever again raise your hands to the innocent, know this, we are still watching. And next time, there will be no count. He disappeared. The screens went black. In the aftermath, peace did return, but it was cold, heavy, enforced by memory. The galaxy rebuilt slowly, quietly. Where once there had been flags and pride and war songs, now there were only markers. Stones. Shrines to remind them what humanity had endured, and what it had become when pushed past the edge. Earth did not lead. It did not invade. But every species knew. If you see a black ship in your sky, run. If you hear the names, bow. And if the stars go silent, it's already too late.